Hello, hello. Good afternoon. We are going to make bagels and pretzels. And look, I got a thing on my shirt or my apron already. So today, these two recipes are super close to the same. So I'm gonna have to really pay attention that I don't actually mix them up, because bagels and pretzels are pretty much the same dough recipe. There's just a couple things that are different. So we'll have to really watch what we're doing because they are really close to the same. Say hi when you jump on so I know who's here and I can say hi back. You guys, that's really gonna bug me. Look at that, right there. But that's what they're for, right? Let's see. Hey Al, how are you? Good afternoon. So bagels, homemade bagels and pretzels are super easy. I did make up some bagel dough earlier because it does have to sit for 90 minutes for a rise. So once we get these mixed and I go through the process of actually showing you how, then we'll be able to use that dough to actually make the actual bagels. But pretzels, you don't need the rise time, so you can do them right away. So first we're going to start with our pretzels, and I'm going to attempt to move you down, maybe, possibly, a little bit. Okay, can you see my bowl? I think you can see my bowl. Okay, so we're going to start with 1.5 cups of lukewarm water. You want it lukewarm so it activates your yeast. So I'm going to fill my cup with 1.5 cups of lukewarm water. Well, water. I gotta put it in the microwave because we have a filtration system on our water. So our actual water is salt water. So let me put this in. I'm gonna do like a little less than a minute is usually about the right temperature that you need for your water. How's your day going? Do you do anything fun and exciting? Today's bake day, and I will saw tonight for sure. I'm gonna start the Jesus portrait tonight. Hey Karen, how are you? We are making homemade pretzels and bagels today. Go ahead. So let me pull my water out. It's probably warm enough. So we're gonna do 1.5 cups of warm water. You don't want it hot. You just want it like lukewarm. So you're gonna put that in your bowl, and then you are going to add. It's actually equal to 1 package of yeast. I am going to put the recipe on my page once we're all done so you guys can have it. But it's 1 standard pack basically. And I'm just using the Quick Rise Red Star yeast. I have an actual big bag of yeast that I have. But I kind of like the packets for this because it's already measured out. You don't have to do anything. So you just pour your yeast in. Throw that down. And then I just mix it in with a whisk just so it's all coated. And we're gonna let this sit just for a minute, just so it has a minute to do its little yeasty growth thing. I am good. It's been a good day so far. It's been a slow day, which I like. I'm on vacation, so I'm trying to relax a little bit and not like rush myself around because I have ADHD and I rush all day, every day. And just because that's how my personality is. And so I'm trying to don't have to do 500 things today. Oh, thank you, Karen. I made this one too. This one was a shower curtain and made it into an apron. I got a really, let me see if I can grab it really quick while this is doing its thing. Hey, Donna. So as you guys know, Bed Bath & Beyond well, they got bought out by Overstock.com, I think, but they did go out of business. And they had a ton of stuff on clearance. And I got a bunch of these Bee and Willow, which was my favorite brand at Bath & Body designer. And I got a bunch of the shower curtains on super clearance. I think they ended up being like $3 a curtain. And so I got a bunch of these. So I'm going to make a bunch of aprons out of it. And then I was at Ross not that long ago, and everything was on clearance. And I got a bunch of tablecloths, but they're like a really soft fabric. So I'm going to do some aprons out of that as well. But I thought, oh gosh, those are so cute. So whenever I go to like the thrift store or old quilts, anything that I can find, I always pick them up because I can make pillows or aprons out of them. Hey, Russ. Okay, so this is starting to bubble a little bit, which is what we want. And then next we are going to whisk in our salt and brown sugar and melted butter. So I'm going to put my butter in the microwave really quick just to give it a little melt. And it's 1 tablespoon. I think it's 1 tablespoon. Is it 1 tablespoon? Yes, 1 tablespoon of butter. I have my recipe, you guys. I have my recipe. So I'm going to melt this for just a second. We'll do like finish off our water time. Because we want it to be cool a little bit. We don't want hot butter going in there. Hey, Patricia. Hey, Laura. Welcome, welcome. So then we're going to mix that in and we'll kind of go from there. These recipes are so similar. I'm going to have to really watch myself. The only thing that's really different in these recipes is the kind of flour. So a bagel, you use bread flour, and a pretzel, you use all-purpose flour. So, okay. So I melted my 1 tablespoon of butter. I'm just going to let it sit to the side just for a second, just to cool down for a minute. And then we are going to mix in salt, and this one wants 1 teaspoon of salt. So let me get my teaspoon here. And I always use sea salt in all my stuff. I love sea salt. My daughter got me hooked on it. So we're going to do 1 teaspoon of salt. And then we are going to do if I can find it here, we're going to do 1 tablespoon. Where did my tablespoon go? I just used it, you guys. I just used it. Oh, it's probably still in my brown sugar. It's in my brown sugar. So, you guys, brown sugar you can make yourself. It's super easy to make. I'm almost out again. I'm gonna have to make some more. So we're gonna do 1 tablespoon of brown sugar in there. So brown sugar, all it is sugar and molasses. And you put however much sugar you want in there, and then you just put like a teaspoon or a tablespoon and just pour it in. And the more molasses you put in, the darker your sugar becomes. So you can do light brown sugar, just adding a little bit, or you can do like dark brown sugar. So we got that in there. Hey, Kaylee, my daughter is in the chat. And then I'm gonna go ahead and whisk in this brown sugar. Get that little chunk out of there. And now we're gonna pour in our melted butter. That little guy's not wanting to go. He's starting to melt a little bit from that water, or the butter. And then once we get this little chunk of brown sugar to go, we are going to slowly add in 3 cups of flour. We're gonna do 1 cup at a time. And I'm gonna use a wooden spoon actually, so we're gonna do a wooden spoon. So I'm gonna grab my flour, and this is my favorite flour to get. I get it from Costco. It's unbleached organic flour. You definitely, if you're trying to like eat cleaner, you definitely don't want bleached flour. And I had no idea that, I don't know, I knew it was white, but I didn't actually know it was like actually bleached, which was crazy. When you start like digging in, you're like, oh my gosh, this is so nuts. So we're gonna do 1 cup. Let me move this out. And I have my little dough whisk, which is my favorite, so I'm gonna use that. And I'm gonna just slowly, or quickly, add in 1 cup. We're gonna mix it in. Hey Beth, how are you? Hey Angela. Hey Rebecca. You guys, we're like 18 away from 1,500 now. I'm so excited. So I appreciate you guys sharing me out and commenting and all the things. You guys are helping a ton. Okay, so we got that mixed in pretty well. We're gonna add in 1 more. Get the edges here. Can you guys see my bowl? Are you guys too high? I never had a camera in my kitchen before, so it is kind of weird. Okay, so we're gonna add 1 more cup. So it's 3 cups of flour. Now we might have to add more, up to like another 3/4 cup, but we're gonna start with this. Now it's getting a little tougher to stir. But if you guys don't have a bread whisk, they are amazing. Way worth it. We used to try to use like a regular whisk and it gets stuck in all the whisk and super hard to do. So we're just mixing it up until it's getting thicker, as you can see. And I'm gonna see if it's sticky. I'm gonna add a little more flour, but if it's a little sticky, so I'm gonna add just a little bit more. You don't want sticky dough, otherwise you won't be able to actually knead it. It'll just get stuck to your counter. And so if you poke it with your finger, it should bounce back just a little bit, slowly. And that is when your dough is done. So I think we've got enough flour in here. And we're gonna put flour down when we need it too, so that will actually grab in some more flour. Okay, so now we're going to go and I am going to move my bowl over. I need this to not be like that. And I'm gonna put a little bit of flour down on my counter. And I'm going to take my dough and put it there on the counter. I'm gonna pick out some of this dough that's in here because my kids eat these in seconds, so I try to get as many as I can. Hey, Sarah! You're shopping, fun. My banana chips were crisp but tiny bit chewy. Did I do them right? Yes. So, funny enough, you'll never get the same texture as a banana chip at the grocery store. They actually use chemicals to get them that crispy. And they have industrial dehydrators. So your at-home ones will have a little bit of play in them. So totally normal. You did it perfectly right. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to knead this for about 3 minutes. And then we're going to shape it into a ball. So I don't know if you guys have kneaded dough before, but you just basically fold it over and then flip and push. And my dough is kind of sticky, so I am going to put more flour down because we don't want it sticking. They fry them, yeah. Isn't that crazy? So you think you're like getting really good stuff. See, I'm just adding more flour. I'm pushing it down and it's getting more sticky for me. So I know I need more flour in it. So I'm just working the flour from the counter into the dough, which is great. It works. I did do pineapple. It was really good. Actually, it was gone within like minutes of doing it. So I think I need to do a whole dehydrator tray of pineapple. Let me get this dough off my hands so I quit sticking because I know it doesn't need that much flour. Okay, so we're just gonna knead this. We're gonna knead it for about 3 minutes. Baking homemade stuff, you definitely get a workout. Beth wrote me a message above. Oh boy. Nancy, read my message I sent you. Beth, I will read your, is it in my messenger? Sorry guys. Up close and personal with my dough hands. Okay, perfect, Beth. I will look at it for sure. Sorry about my dough hands, you guys. I haven't actually been on today. I need to get on and look at all of those. You ordered the bread stuff? Oh, good. You'll love it. It's a great kit. It actually comes with this too. It comes with everything that you need. So, you'll like it. Hey, Connie. Okay, just kneading away here. Now, pretzels, you don't need rise time. So the kneading part is super important. Probably should have just added more flour to it in the bowl, but that's okay. I lost some of my dough here. I'm gonna scrape up. There we go. That's a better texture. You're gonna make bread, Beth. You're gonna do it. We'll do it together. I actually have to feed my starter, so I'm going to take a video of it so I can show you how to feed your starter. But you do really want to have a kitchen scale for sourdough. So I hope you can find your scale, because it does help a ton to have a scale. Now, it's not like mandatory, you can guess, but sourdough is a bit of a bougie bread. So you want to make sure that you can measure it in grams. Hey, Randy. Yes, she can do it, and she'll make great bread. She's got this. I know she does. Okay, so that was about 3 minutes, I think. So we're going to put this, I'm going to do it in a little ball. And then we are going to put it back in our bowl. And I'm going to cover this for just a second. And wash my hands. It is a bougie bread. Like, it likes the bread baskets. Like, it's very bougie. Very bougie. And people make it super difficult these days. Like, back in the day, they didn't have scales and they didn't discard their starter. They didn't do all those things because they didn't waste food back then. And nowadays, people are like, oh, you gotta discard your starter and you have to do this and that. And yes, there's a ton of recipes to use for your discard. We're actually gonna make a discard chocolate cake, but I wanted to make stuff too that I do make that's not sourdough for everybody that doesn't actually use sourdough. So I'm gonna preheat my oven to 400 really quick. So while that is preheating, I am going to get 9 cups of water, and we're gonna put it in my pot over here. I'll bring you over there in just a second. And we are going to start to broil the water and baking soda together. And this is the bath that the pretzels are gonna go into before they go onto the baking sheets to go into the oven. Maybe we can get you while you're on live. Oh, do you want me to do it live? I can feed my starter live. I can do that. Let me get this going and then we can look at that. So, I don't know if you guys can see. Can you see my stove? I'll bring it over in just a second. So I'm gonna do 9 cups of water. It doesn't have to be exact, it's just about what it needs for how much baking soda. Eight. 9. Okay, so we got 9 cups of water in our pot. I'm gonna put it over on the stove. And I'm gonna turn it on high so we can get it boiling. And let me grab this really quick. I just want to double check. Half cup. Okay, so we're going to use a half cup of baking soda in our 9 cups of water. You thought I froze? No, I'll put a message on my page. Oh, thank you, Beth. I appreciate that. A lot. I don't have one of those fancy Dutch ovens. Mine is just seasoned. Hey, seasoned ones are good. Seasoned ones are good. Mine aren't fancy. I got mine on, I got my Dutch ovens on Amazon, and I got them on sale for like 49 bucks. So I got 4 of them, but, they're really nice for, most of them are like, so many Dutch ovens are so expensive, it's crazy. Guys, I'm gonna open a new one. Not a fan of that one anymore. It's like stuff coming out the side. Somebody dipped in there and didn't use it. Pour it out. Okay, so baking soda, half cup. And we're gonna toss this into our boiling pot. I'm gonna give it a quick little stir so it doesn't burn on the bottom. Okay, I'm coming back. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our dough that we just left in this bowl. And I'm gonna put more flour down because we're making messes. And let me grab my little cutter. And we're just gonna cut little pieces off. Like that. With each one. I'm gonna put it to the side. And then we're just gonna roll it out. Maybe. That's a great price. I garage sold mine for $30. That's a good price too. Yeah, it was really good for Amazon. I was surprised since they were brand new. I was like, wow. Hey, Erin. Hey, Mac. Okay, so I'm just rolling. We want to go like 22 inches. You guys, I suck at this part. I'm not going to lie. I get really impatient and then it doesn't roll really good. Should just get my cutting board and roll it on my cutting board. Let's see if that helps. We'll try that. It's like moving all over the place. There we go. We got it now. And you want them semi-even. This isn't the bagel one. These are pretzel. This is the pretzel one. We're going to poke holes in the other one in a minute. I think that should be long enough. So you're just going to twist it around itself and then pinch the bottom. So you have a pretzel like that. You're hungry now? Okay, so I'm going to put this pretzel to the side just for now. We are going to be dropping it into water. So we're just going to shape them and then we'll put them to the side. Get another chunk off. And you guys can roll these out into little logs, and you can actually just cut them into pretzel bites if you don't want to actually make pretzel shapes. And the pretzel bites are just as good. They're the same thing. They're just little pretzel bites. So. TJ Maxx has them for $49. I haven't been to TJ Maxx in a really long time. I should go. We have one down the street. I go to Ross a lot. I love Ross. Hey Brian, how are you? Okay, so I think this is pretty long enough. You don't have to be exact. Maybe this wasn't long enough, but that's okay. We'll have a smaller little pretzel. Cut our little pretzel. Okay, send me some hearts if you guys have made pretzels before, and send me thumbs up if you have not. All right, we have some have-nots. That's exciting. You guys, these are the best. They're so good. They're such a good snack with cheese dip. Oh my goodness. My husband asked me, he's like, what are you making today? What's gonna be my snack today? Okay, so we're gonna, got this just a little chunky in the center here, so I'm gonna roll it out. You tried ones in a disaster? Oh no. Oh no. So we are gonna do these pretzels, and then we are going to actually do bagels, which I'll show you how to do the dough. It's the same process as we just did with this one. It's pretty much the same dough. There's just the difference of the bread flour and the all-purpose flour. But I already made some dough, so we can go straight to the pretzel or the bagel part. But I will show you how to do it. And we are going to do everything bagels. So you can get this. It's called bagel seasoning everything. This stuff is so good on bagels. Hey Felicia, welcome to the page. Alabama, huh? Okay, so let's twist this guy. Just put your fingers in it and kind of spread it out a little bit. It's a little thinner on the top, right there. That's okay. So put this over here. I have never been to Alabama. Are you like mountainy, foresty, cornfields like Nebraska? Dad, you haven't made pretzels before? I'm shocked. So as you're rolling, you're just kind of pulling out a little bit. So it's kind of stretching the dough out a little bit. Farmland, no mountains in a big city. Ah, sounds like Nebraska. Okay. Well, Omaha, anyways. Omaha, Nebraska is a big city. The rest of them are not. So you got your bagel. Or your bagel, your pretzel. I knew I was going to do that today. We're going to do 2 more, and then we're going to go over and start putting them in the boiling water because it is going good. You never been here either? Yeah, not a lot of people have been to Nebraska. Our travel slogan here was, it's not for everyone. which I thought was like super epic. It was actually really good marketing. But yeah, Nebraska is definitely not for everyone. Oh, did my dog come in? Did I miss him? I got a couple of them running around. All right, so we're gonna just keep spreading this out a little bit. I'm definitely not 22 inches, you guys. I'm making it a little bit smaller, but my cutting board's kind of short, so that's okay. We'll get more out of them then. German Shepherd, yep, he's a German Shepherd Red Heeler mix. And then I have a Labradoodle Husky Mastiff mix. But the German Shepherd is my baby. He is a mama's boy, for sure. And then our Nieve, which is the Husky Labradoodle Mastiff, loves my husband. So it's really funny. Like if we try to cuddle, they both get involved. You've been Omaha once? Hey Tammy, how are you? Okay, so we're gonna twist, pinch, and pull. Okay, so we're gonna start with this batch. I'm gonna bring you over and plug you here. That's what I want a German Shepherd. My grandmother had one when I was a little girl. Oh, how fun! I love pretzels. Wish we lived closer. Oh, me too, Tammy. I love pretzels. Okay, so we're over here now. Now the difference is you dip your pretzels in baking soda, and your bagels you actually dip in a mixture of honey and water. So those are like the two differences. So this will be water with honey, and then this is the water with the baking soda. So we're just gonna take our pretzel that we had made, and we're just gonna drop it in the water. Now the key with this is to only do a couple at a time. Use a slotted spatula, and you only want to leave them in for like 30 seconds or so. The longer you leave them in, the more metallic taste they have. So you want to make sure that you pull them out sooner than later. But you definitely want to make sure that they actually get a good soak too. So big groove, so I'm going to make sure and just tap it on the side here. And I'm putting it on a new cookie sheet. Do the same thing with this one. We'll tap it. And then put a new one in. New pretzel in. And you guys, this is our bagel dough in there. It does have to sit for 90 minutes once you mix it. So we're gonna mix it because I'm gonna do 2 batches. I'm not gonna do them with you guys, obviously. We'll just do 1 batch of each, and then I'm gonna mix the dough, show you how to do it to get it to this point. Then we'll go on further, but so you guys can see how to do them. And then I'll just continue bake after I get off live and finish all of them. The more pretzels you put in here, the more bubbly it gets. So, pull that out. Tap this guy. Have I always liked to bake? I've always loved to bake, and I used to bake cakes and decorate cakes and do all the things, but I never got into sourdough until Doug, who is in the chat. I had been watching a bunch of sourdough stuff, and I was like, I really want to do sourdough, because I was making normal bread, but not sourdough, and so I was like, I want to learn how to do it, and Doug sent me some videos, and egged me on a little bit, and now I'm hooked on sourdough. Now I pretty much make all sourdough, but I do regular bread still, but I've always been a baker, just now it's changed a little bit. How much water in baking soda? So it's a half cup of baking soda, and it's 9 cups of water. And when I'm done with my live, I'll put the full recipes on my page, so you guys can do them at home. Tap this guy. And our oven is preheated to 400. Got this guy. Ooh, don't fall. No falling. Okay, and if you guys have coarse salt, use it. I'm just going to use sea salt on mine. So I'm going to grab my sea salt. But you can buy big coarse salt, but sea salt works just as good. And I'm going to sprinkle. I'm just going to sprinkle some sea salt. On the top. And you don't have to put any salt. So it's up to you. You can leave them how they are, or you can put salt in them. Totally up to what you want to do. So I'm going to bring you back over here. Maybe. Ah! I'm afraid I'm going to drop you guys. I'm going to go flying. Okay, so we are going to cook these in the oven for 12 to 15 minutes. I'm going to start them at 12. So I'm going to go put them in the oven really quick, and then we'll start our bagels. Okay, so they're in the oven for 12 minutes, so we have to listen for the timer. I'm going to turn this vent off. So I'm going to redo my, water anyways for the rest of this for pretzels. But we need to get our bagel dough done so we can do a batch of bagels. Hey, Joyce. I posted a pic of starter all over my counter. Oh, man. It gets crazy, you guys, and it's addictive. So, like, it is like a kid, and you feed it, and then you can put it in the fridge if you don't want to use it right now, and then you can put it back to room temperature and refeed it. Like, you can, like, have sourdough all the time. And you can also make sourdough pretzels and sourdough bagels. They're amazing. I'm trying to give you some different stuff that you guys can do if you don't have a sourdough starter, but we can make sourdough bagels as well. And they're super good. So if that's something you guys want to learn how to do, let me know. I'm just trying to do a mix of sourdough and regular, so we have a little bit of mix because we mix it up here at our house anyways. So I need another 1.5 cups of water. Like I said, this recipe is super similar to the pretzel recipe, so you want to make sure I won't do the wrong way. Hey, Ashley, how are you? I'm going to have have to look, you guys. We were like 18 away from 1,500. I think we're gonna hit it today. Okay, so I got 1.5 cups of water. I'm gonna go put it in my microwave because it does need to be lukewarm for the yeast. And I'm just putting it in like 1 minute. Sorry guys if I'm missing comments. I will go back and respond if I did miss you. Sarah, are you having fun shopping? So we're gonna do 1 package of quick rise yeast in our warm water. I'm just gonna put it in here. I'm gonna go grab my water. So warm water. We are going to whisk in our yeast a little bit. Now this recipe, you're supposed to let your yeast sit for 5 minutes. Hence why I did a batch beforehand, because this one takes a little bit longer to make bagels. Okay, I'm on now. Sorry about that. I was virtually shopping with my boy. I bet that was a blast. Did you get lots of good stuff? Did you find anything cool that you must have? We're all dying. We're all waiting. Let's hear it, Sarah. Did you get good stuff? We're shopping with you. I actually really want to go to Goodwill. That is on my list of things to do on my vacation. I want to go to Goodwill. But while this is sitting, I'm going to go ahead and grab my pot of water. We're going to do another 9 cups of water in the pot, and we are going to do 1/4 cup of honey. And I love to use raw, unfiltered honey. It gives it like a really good flavor, but I like to use this kind of honey on anything. So we're gonna do 1/4 cup of the honey and 9 cups of water in our pot. So let me grab my pot. And you'll do a haul. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay. He always finds the best stuff. So we're gonna put in 1/4 cup of honey. And did you guys know that if you get honey locally, it's actually really good for your allergies? Because it has the pollens and stuff in it that are local to you. So it's supposed to be really great for your allergies. Obviously, it's great for when you're sick too, but it's actually a really good natural allergy medicine. Okay, so I'm gonna grab my water. I'm gonna fill this pot. My timer wasn't showing. It was saying hit start. And I was like, oh, I put the water in there. I didn't my timer back. Luckily, it's still going. Actually, I'm gonna do one more cup because I think I was on 6. I need 9. So this would be 9. Okay. So we got 9 cups of water. We are going to scoop in our 1/4 cup of honey just right into the pot. Like so. And we're going to whisk this in. And we're going to turn this on high. Okay, so now what we're going to do, I do have pretzels in the oven. We got like 4 minutes and we'll pull out our pretzels. Only food with no expiration date, right? And it's so good for you. Okay, so this one, instead of the regular flour, it's asking for bread flour. So I always do what it asks because it does make a difference when you make bagels. You want them to be more like bread. So I'm gonna do 4 cups. Actually, before I do that, before I add the flour, I need to add the other stuff. I almost got ahead of myself, you guys. So we need brown sugar and our salt first before we add our flour. So we're going to add 1 tablespoon of brown sugar again, like we did on the last one. Doesn't need to be amazingly perfect. And then we are going to add 2 teaspoons of salt. Moved everything all over the place now. So 2 teaspoons of salt. We're going to mix that in. Hey, Charlie. Hey, Rick. We got that mixed in. And now we're gonna add 4 cups of flour. So 1. Now this is bread flour. 2. 3. Guys, hear my dog growling. It's very mad. It's very mad at something that's happening in the backyard. I'm not really sure what it is. Okay, so we have that in there, and then we're just gonna mix this up into a dough. What do you think of Himalayan salt? Or however you spell it, however you say it. Words are hard. I think it's absolutely great. And it's really good for you. So if you want to use that, then go for it, for sure. So there is no butter in this one. This one has no butter. Okay, hold on. Grab out. We have homemade pretzels. Look at those guys. So I'm just gonna let them cool out on the stove, or actually on my cutting board over here. And you guys, when I mix dough, I use my hands a lot. Right? As soon as I get in the goo, the alarm goes off. So yeah, no butter in the bagel recipe. So they are slightly different, but more flour, bread flour, no butter. And these ones are gonna get an egg wash as well. Teresa, how's your day going? So I'm just mixing in this flour that we can mix in. Now this one is interesting because this guy has to be, you have to knead it for 6 minutes. So, you gotta be ready for this. And then once you knead it for 6 minutes, you are gonna let it, you're gonna coat a bowl. We're gonna coat a bowl with olive oil and kind of mix it around in there. And we are going to literally let it rise in the bowl for 90 minutes. And I have one already risen for 90 minutes, so we're gonna use that to do the next step. So we're not on here all day. Six minutes. I know, right? To bake bread, you gotta be in shape, that's for sure. Or whatever you do, especially if you have to knead dough. When we make pasta too, you have to knead it for a really long time. And that's like a thicker dough. But see, it really does make a difference, kneading dough, so. Hey Karen, we are going to drop in stuff. I'm gonna go turn my oven up to 325 though. So we're gonna pretend that I needed this for 6 minutes. I will go back and do it, but I'm not gonna keep you guys on forever. So we're gonna pretend I needed this for 6 minutes, which actually it's looking pretty dang good anyways. Hey Paula. I'm gonna mess up your name again because I haven't been on live for a really long time. Is it Jappy? I know that's wrong. It's not how it's spelled. I know it's wrong. Okay. What's the difference of the flours? Bread flour is more rich. It's got stronger gluten strands in it, and protein. So it's just a thicker flour. Yappy, that's right. I do that every time. Close enough, Sherry. Words are hard. Okay, so we got our dough. And what you're gonna do is you're just going to, I'll just do a little pop for now. So you're gonna coat this with some olive oil. And then you're gonna take your dough ball and you're just gonna roll it in the olive oil. Like so. And then you are going to cover it. I always cover my dough with saran wrap first. And then, and loosely. You don't want it tight because you don't want to pull down the dough because you want the dough to rise. And then I put a towel over my dough, over the wrap. Now, a lot of recipes say just cover it, but when you cover it with just a towel, a lot of air gets in there, and then you get like a hard shell on top of your dough. You get a way better rise if you do like a saran wrap or foil, which we don't use that word here, and a towel over it. Okay, so, ta-da! It rose. So this is our bagel dough, and it's ready to go. So what we are gonna do at this point is we are going to punch this down, and then we are going to let it deflate. Okay, I'm gonna get my, I guess we can do it right here. So now we have our dough. And I'm gonna cut this up like we did with pretzels. But this time I want to really like eyeball this a little bit. Okay, so we have a piece that we took off. I'm gonna roll it up. Okay, and these are really easy, you guys. So we're gonna roll it like so. Side kind of was funky. I think I folded it right there. No folding it. You don't want to fold it. Doug, I'm so excited for you. Okay, so we have our, like this. We're going to actually put our fingers through it and just make a hole in it. But hold on a second. I need to grab an egg. I'm gonna just take this. I'm gonna take the egg white out of this. So we got the egg white. And then we're gonna just do 1 teaspoon of water. beat the egg white in there. I think it's kind of cool. There's a bunch of us survivors in here. I'm a survivor, Doug's a survivor, Patricia's a survivor. We've got a good group in here. Okay, so you're gonna put your fingers through the center, just break it out, and then you're going to smush it around. Okay, it's this edge right here I don't like. It's not gonna make a pretty bagel. It's okay. So I just kind of toss it around a little bit. And fix this edge. Your husband is a 3-time survivor? I think Doug is close to that, aren't you, Doug? Okay. Here's your bagel. So I'm gonna grab my pan here. Got it lined with parchment paper. So we'll put our bagel in there and do this next thing. You just shape it like this, kind of roll it. You don't want to pinch it though, like I did on accident on the last one, because you don't want like the fold in there. So make a ball, pull your fingers through it, rip it, and then press around. 2 times for me over it. I understand that. I'm 2 times myself, and I don't want to go back. Hence why we really started changing how we eat and the preservatives. Plus we have a ton of autoimmune diseases in our house, so it was time to take charge. Gut health is a must, that is for sure. And it's so crazy, like what they put in your food just blows me away. And it was my fault because it was convenient. So I chose the convenient route, but then, you know, I knew better. So breaking the hole in there for your bagel, you can even go like this if you want, it doesn't matter. You can have fun with it, you can play with your dough. Whatever you want to do. Okay. So we got another bagel. Pop that on. Same thing, kind of ball it from the sides. Guys, I'm boiling over there. This one's gonna be a big bagel. So we're gonna punch it through. And I am gonna flatten this one out a little bit. When am I baking you bread? I baked bread on here last weekend. I will be baking bread this week though. So if you guys are interested, I might come live, but I did it last weekend for bread. So this is a big guy. It's a big bagel. We'll give that one to my husband. It's on my page, you can watch it. All right, Sarah, have fun shopping. Okay, so then you're gonna punch your hole. It's hard to watch lives and have your phone ringing, that is for sure. Okay, so got another one on there. Hey, Randy. Shit, I think I must send you some South African recipes. That would be so amazing. I'll do them live. You can walk me through them. That would be so fun. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is a really big guy. I should have made him a little smaller. I'm gonna need another cookie sheet for this guy. Another bagel. We'll start with our 6. So now what we're gonna do is I need my little stir that up a little bit. We are just gonna brush these with our egg wash that we just made. And you don't need to do a lot because we're actually gonna put them in the honey water. I just like to do this to give it a little chop. Okay. Now I'm gonna bring you back over to our breaking stuff, you guys, breaking stuff. Okay, so we're gonna put you down. Maybe. Whoop. And this is our water and honey. So we're going to plop them in 2 at a time in our honey water. And you're gonna let them go for like 30 seconds and then you're gonna flip them over. A milk tart. Ooh. That would be awesome. I'll do them live. For sure. Flip it over. And the honey gives these a really good taste. So then we're gonna pull out our bagel and just kind of let it drip off for a second. Put them on a parchment paper. I'm actually not going to put these on the parchment paper. I'm going to put on the cookie sheet because we want the water to drip off of them. We don't want to bake the water. So we're going to drop these in. 2 more. Shay, do you eat meat? I love meat. I'm a big meat eater. Meat and potatoes is probably my all-time favorite. I love steak. I love all kinds of meat. I love seafood. Yep, I'm a super big meat eater. I've had to grow to like vegetables, which is kind of funny. But as I'm aging, my taste buds are changing too, which is great. But yes, I'm a big meat fan. But red meat is probably my favorite. Flip these guys. Now these aren't going to get a metallic taste if you leave them in too long because they are in honey. So really it doesn't matter. You don't want them in too long because you don't want them to cook in there or start to try to cook in there. But you do want them to get that nice shell. That's the whole goal of this. Okay. So we're going to drop our last 2 in, like so. Nope. I like to cook from scratch, but I definitely am an all-meat person. Now, my daughter's boyfriend, who's a chef, he is a pescatarian, so he only does fish. And he can't have shellfish because he's allergic. So we do try to make stuff for him as well. But yeah, no, I'm a big meat eater. Yappy, you have a good day. Pita Peta. Karen, did you teach yourself all this baking stuff or classes? So pretty much anything that I do, I'm self-taught. I just try everything. So my mom wasn't a big baker. My grandma was a cooker and stuff, but she lived far away from me, so I didn't learn a lot from her. So I look up recipes and just trial and error until I get it right. It's the best way to learn. You gotta fail sometimes so you can perfect stuff. So I just try stuff, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And then I try something new. Ooh, that was hot. That was a hot bagel. Okay. So I'm going to bring you back over here. Well, actually, let me move this guy. Maybe we can just do it right here so you guys can see. So now we're going to do our egg wash, but really do our egg wash. So my husband ended up getting diagnosed with psoriatic arthritis, and they at first diagnosed him as celiac. That's what they thought they had until they got a good diagnosis. So we went through a stage where we had to make everything gluten-free. It was horrible. Feel bad for anybody that has to be gluten-free. It was really hard just because I like to bake and do all these things. So I have a pretty good generous amount of the egg wash on there. And now what I'm going to do is take my bagel seasoning. If I can find it. I'm going to take the lid off. Hold on a second. So I'm just using, where's the top? Everything Bagel. I actually get this at Aldi's for like $2.49. Super cheap. And then you're just going to sprinkle your Everything Bagel. Now you can do garlic. You can put in blueberries when you're folding your dough. You can do anything that you want with your bagels. My family loves the Everything Bagel. It's one of their favorites. So I'll do a batch of plain bagels, and then I'll do these Everything Bagels. So we got our Everything Bagels. We are going to cook these in the oven for 20 minutes. We're going to start at 20. So I'm just going to plop these in the oven. Timer for 20 minutes. And that is off. I'm just moving you guys all over the place today. You guys getting seasick yet? I hope not. It's 23 p.m. here. Wow, that's right. You're like way across the pond. Way across the pond. Okay, so I'm going to grab a plate really quick. And here are our pretzels that we made. Now, the reason why I like to use parchment paper on when I'm baking is because it evenly cooks things out and you don't get burnt bottoms. So these are like absolutely perfect. And these are amazing with cheese dip. I love them with cheese dip. So yeah, they're like so yummy. I want to eat one. See, the perfect pretzel. Hey, Sarge, how are you? Guys, they're perfect. Perfect. So, but like the cheese dip's my favorite with pretzels. They need big chunks of salt on them. They do need big chunks of salt on them. But half of my kids don't like the big salt, and some do, so I salt them. So these are salty. They're just not big chunks of salt. Okay, so this is up to you guys. Why we wait? We can either wait 17 minutes, which is a really long time, you guys. I can pull the bagels out and put pictures up of the bagels when they come out of the oven. Or we can make more brown sugar because I need it for later. I can teach you how to make brown sugar while we wait for the bagels. Totally up to you. We can get off and I can post pictures, or we can make brown sugar. What would you like to do? And I'm all eating in front of you. I'm sorry. I'm a bad host. It smells really good and looked really good, and I just had to eat it. Brown sugar? Okay. So we'll make some more brown sugar. I need to clean out this cabinet. So bad. So bad. You just need a container. Pretty much any ingredients that you have that you need for a recipe, you can make your own. So you don't have to run to the store if you need something like crazy. So I try to have all my staples on hand always, just in case I need brown sugar, I can make it. So brown sugar is just sugar. Brown sugar and molasses. You just need molasses. So you just take your sugar and you can just pour however much you think you're gonna need. You can make just enough for your recipe if you want. Then that way it's not going hard or anything. There is little brown sugar tabs you can put into your brown sugar. And you guys, I'm gonna have to buy some molasses because I am on my last bit. So you take your molasses. I don't even know if I'm gonna have enough to make brown sugar, to be honest. I just made brown sugar yesterday, that's why. Save you some pretzels so you can try them. Well, I have another batch that's not made yet, KK, so I will make that after I get off live, and then you can have one of those if there's anything left, but your brothers and sisters eat them really quickly. We have yet to have you save one for you. Hey, Elizabeth. Okay, so I'm just trying to get my molasses is super sticky, so get it off your spoon here. And I really like to mix my molasses and sugar with a fork. So you have your molasses in there and your sugar. Now, the more molasses that you add, the darker your brown sugar gets. If you put less in, you will have like a light brown sugar. So whatever your kind of goal you're going for, now I like to do mine like a medium. So I have to put this down to do this because I have to smush it in the sugar granules. Haley, we need to put on my list, I need to buy more molasses. But it's actually cheaper than buying brown sugar. I pretty much made so much brown sugar out of that one jar of molasses. Like a ridiculous amount of brown sugar out of that one jar of molasses. I bake all the time. You're back for the moment. Well, welcome back, Sarah. We are waiting for our bagels in the oven, and everybody chose to stay on and wait for them and make brown sugar. So we are making some brown sugar now. But I'm kind of out of molasses, so we're trying. We're trying a bit. I'm gonna end up having to put some brown sugar in there. Get the rest of this. So I had enough to do like a light brown sugar in there. Now you really do want to spend the time though doing this with your brown sugar, because you don't want any like molasses chunks in there, because then that's no good. Because when you go to pour it in your like recipe, you've got like a chunk of molasses, which is not the end of the world, but you really do want to make sure that you blend it well. And then, see, so then I just mix it really quick, and then I have my brown sugar for my recipe that I was needing the brown sugar for. And it is good. So I normally go for like a color like this. So what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and pour this in, because I'm putting it into this. And I'm going to take my other, and this actually kind of refreshes it a little bit too, which is nice. So it's going to make it a little bit lighter brown sugar than I've had before, but that's okay. Brown sugar is brown sugar. And it packs the same as any other sugar. It just doesn't have any of the store preservatives that they put in it. So we're just mixing it in. So that's like the perfect brown sugar. And it packs really nice. So you can make your own. You're 61 and never knew this? You never knew the brown sugar? Oh my goodness. Well, I'm glad you're learning now. I'm glad you're learning now. Yeah, so a lot of recipes, like, you know, you don't have it, and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm out of brown sugar. Just make it. But just make sure you have molasses, not like I had it on hand today. Make sure you have a staple of molasses in your cabinet. Then I always have fresh brown sugar for when I need to make a recipe, like today. And just make sure it's stirred really well. And put it in an airlock tight container. Well, I'm excited that you guys are learning something. That's what this is all about. What's the difference in making your own and buying brown sugar? So there's not as many preservatives in homemade brown sugar, but realistically, it's just the price. So I can buy molasses for like $4, and then I always have sugar on hand. So I can make so much brown sugar with molasses. It just cost savings for me. And like, if I forget to get some at the grocery store, I always have a way to make it. So that's basically the biggest difference, is I'm thrifty. So I can make bags and bags of brown sugar, but it's still cheap at the grocery store. It just has more preservatives and added stuff in that you really don't need in your brown sugar. So I would rather not have the added stuff and save a little money. Hey, Kelly, how are you? Welcome. We had made some pretzels. We had bagels in the oven, and we just made some brown sugar. I'll wash my hands. We got 8 minutes left on the bagels, and then we can pull them out, and then I will let you guys go since I'm keeping you all day. And I will make another batch of pretzels and another batch of bagels. You're 73 and didn't know that? Well, I'm glad that you're here then. Good stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. And like, if you need buttermilk, you can mix butter and whole milk together to get whole milk and butter together to get whipping cream, heavy whipping cream, sorry. And if you want to make butter, you use heavy whipping cream and you mix it until it separates, and you can make butter and buttermilk. And I did eat the pretzel in front of you, I'm sorry. We won't forget that part. I'm sorry. But it's really good. I actually kind of want to finish it. I didn't finish it though in front of you. now you're starving to death. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. But they're a great snack for kids too. Okay. Okay, let me check the bagels. We got 6 minutes. We're getting close. We're getting close. You enjoyed this so much. Good to know how to make your own. Oh, thank you, Teresa. And you guys, hit the like button and follow button if you're not already following. We're like 18 away from 1,500, which is so awesome. And share if you can. That would be a big help for me. We are growing this new page. You're upholstering some chairs. That's fun. I would like to do that. Guys, I'm so hungry. Okay. And if you guys have anything that you want to learn how to make, I might have never made it, but I'm always willing to try. So, private message. Oh gosh, I got too much pretzel. Private message me your recipes and we'll make them live. And I'll try something new. I don't mind trying something new online. You know, sometimes we fail, sometimes we do good. Just depends on what it is. So I'll try anything. But we are going to make some cakes and all sorts of stuff here. So at least you have flour on your sweater. I do. I'm always covered in flour. It's in my hair. Homemade tortillas. Actually, I have made those. They're really good and they're super easy. So let's do that. That is on the list for sure. Yes. Let's do it. Sawdust. I can make sawdust. I can. We will do that. I'm actually going to be sawing tonight. But we'll be sawing this week. I'm off all week. So we're going to do all sorts of stuff this week. But I do need to make some treats. I need to make a cake and maybe something else snacky for the kids while they're on spring break. So we'll do that this week. And then we'll be sawing and crafting and maybe even sewing some aprons. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do this week. It's kind of all crazy. I'm covered in sawdust or flour, or both. A lot of times I'll leave the kitchen and go right onto my saw, so then I'm covered in both. Is there such a thing as bread for pre-diabetes? Okay, so this is kind of controversial. My son, who is 3, is a type 1 diabetic. I mean, he's 11. He was diagnosed at 3 as a type 1 diabetic. Now, he can eat anything he wants as long as you have insulin for it as a type 1 because it's an autoimmune disease. Type 2 is a little bit different, so you have to watch what you eat. Now, as far as bread goes, sourdough would be the best because it's fermented and the gluten strands are different in it. They did do a study on it and took people's blood sugar. when they ate sourdough bread, and there wasn't that spike in their blood sugar as there was with regular bread. So if you are trying to watch what you're eating for diabetes, sourdough is the way to go, for sure. And I have full access to my son's Dexcom every 5 minutes. It beeps. Oh, you guys, wait a minute. We have to test something. Hold on. Are you here? Okay. Type in exclamation point website. I just want to try something. I only have one in so far, but I'm trying to set up this bot and I forgot to turn my bot on. Is it gonna work? This thing has been really hard to figure out, so I don't know if it's gonna work or not. I just turned it on, but I might have to turn it on the computer. Yeah, it's not working. Dang it. Okay, I'll have to play with it again. Nothing yet. I must have to put it on my computer. But you guys, tomorrow, Sunday, I will be live over with the rustic mustard seeds. Sarah, we are going to be crafting together live. So make sure that she's in the chat, the rustic mustard seed. Make sure you go follow her if you're not already following her, because we are going live on her page tomorrow at 7 p.m. I'm super excited. It's going to be a lot of fun. I still don't know what I'm making yet, but we are going live over there. It will be a hoot. I'm super excited. I will be posting a link or to her page and posting about what we're doing tomorrow on my Facebook page. We are going to be on Facebook, Doug. You're trying to figure out StreamYard on Facebook? Yeah, I need to probably get back on StreamYard so I can use my bot. I think that's my problem. But I've been kind of enjoying, like, being able to, like, see my, well, I lost my stars because I had to get a new page, but I like to see my stars and stuff. And then you can do, like, I don't even know, am I making a heart? You can do, like, cool things on here. So I kind of like it. So I don't know if I want to go back to StreamYard or not. I haven't decided. But I am going to set up a bot so you guys, if I'm using something, I will be able to put like a exclamation point, whatever it is, and you guys will get a link to it and stuff. I know, isn't that fun? I just love them. I love that. I think there's something else you can do, like a thumbs up. What is the blue? Oh yeah, thumbs up. Okay, you guys, that was like perfect timing. The bagel should be done. Oh yeah, look at these guys. TV, smell-o-vision. We have bagels. Check them out. See if I can pull you that way. So there are our bagels. Look how pretty they look. They smell really good. So the perfect bagel, they are hard on the, or, you know, like they're not hard, but they do have that shell on them, which is perfect. So, and they still have the play in them, which means they're good inside. So we have bagels, which is super exciting. And the everything bagel smells so good. So good. Let me put it on a plate so you can see them. There they are. There's our bagels. I know, and cream cheese. Oh my gosh. I love them. So really the bagel thing is just the waiting the 90 minutes. So I like to make my bagel dough in the morning and then let it rise for 90 minutes and then make some bagels. But I usually don't just do this many. I do like 30 bagels at one time. So, but I wanted to show you guys how it was. And obviously we're not staying on making 30 bagels on live. That isn't going to happen. So I just wanted to make sure that we could do it together. I'm going to get off and post the recipes on my page. And then I will also post about tomorrow on the rustic mustard seed. Super excited to go live over there. If you don't already follow her, she's like the biggest sweetheart and the biggest hoot ever, and her mama. So I'm really thrilled to be able to go live over on her page tomorrow. It's going to be so much fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed learning how to make pretzels, bagels, and brown sugar, which was added in there. But I will post the recipes after I get off, and I will see you guys soon. I'll see you probably over on the rustic mustard seed tomorrow. I might end up going live tomorrow at some point. I'm not really sure. How do I get to your page? So you're on my page right now. If you click my name, I think it takes you to my page. I'm not sure how it's showing up on your live. I can't remember off the top of my head. But if you like this video, hit the like button. It should pop up again for you. Sarah, do you know? Do you know how she gets to my page from the live? I think you just click the top. I don't know. I've never been asked that before. I might need to learn that. Thank you, Randy. Linda, I think you just click on my name. I'm all the things Midnight Scroller. You can search me in the box too. Go to, and hit follow. Click the arrow by the live button. Okay, there we go. Click the arrow by the live button. All right, you guys, thank you for hanging out with me and making stuff. It was fun. All right, you guys, have a good night. Bye.